Hi everyone, this is Cindy with Tana Tarot. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to pull some messages that are meant for you. You are meant to find this message or these messages today. So we have group number 1, group number 2, and group number 3. Please do, take a moment to, meditate on the piles, see which one calls to you. You could be drawn to more than one, and that's fine as well. So thank you so much for joining me today. And if any of these messages do resonate with you, please do like the video. And also, I'd be interested in your comments on what resonated. And I'm also wanting to know what type of pick-a-card readings you'd like to see. So if you mention those down in the comments, I check all the comments, and I can definitely take your ideas and create a pick-a-card reading that you'd be interested in. So again, thanks so much for joining me today. I'm going to go ahead and give just a few seconds here for you to think about which group you're interested in. And you'll see the timestamps below in the description box. And you can click on those and shoot straight over to the group that you're interested in. Thanks again. See you in a little bit. Hi, group number 1. Welcome. Let's go ahead. So this is the this message was meant to find you, or you were meant to find this message. So what this is messages that we're gathering here, messages that we're seeing for group number 1. They can be from spirit. They can be messages that are being sent down from your spirit guides, your angels, family members who have passed over. What we're looking for is, first I want to look at some of the attributes of who you are to help you determine if this message is for you. And then we'll just look at the messages, messages maybe of guidance, messages of, looking for blocks, things that you can work on, just kind of what were you meant to hear today that can help you in your path forward. So right away, starting, I do see that you are an extremely vulnerable, gentle person, or perhaps you are so gentle and sensitive that you find it hard to be vulnerable. In both the kiss and the gazelle, for someone so sensitive, it is often hard to stop living in the future and worrying about, what can be, worrying about the way things are going to go, kind of trying to control things, not being open. You don't want to open up and let people in due to fear, because you need to control your own environment, you think. And so what the kiss and the gazelle are letting me know is that the messages that I'm getting from them are that you are an extremely sensitive, understanding person. You can be, a worry, you can worry about the future, have racing thoughts, be stressed out very easily type of person. And so some of the advice is that I'm hearing for you is to try to be more in the present. I mean, take a look at what, don't ignore it, but take a look at what you're worrying about, and ask yourself, will this really be important in 5 years? Will this really be, is this what's happening right now something that's really, going to affect me in the long run? And, how big is this really? And take a look at it, kind of take it apart, try and, pull yourself back and look at the things that you're worrying about objectively. Try and resize them, if you will. That's one way that you can do that, is say, hey, will this really be important to me in 5 years? And another way is to just, really go in it and say, hey, I'm going to allow myself 10 minutes to worry about this. I'm going to do all the what ifs and, coulda, shoulda, wouldas, and all of those things. And then I'm just going to let it go and let it be, and take the, let the universe kind of take it over, or God, whatever it is that, you believe in, let it go. Let it out of your control, because really you don't have any control over many situations. I mean, you can ask yourself that, hey, is there something that I can do to mitigate this? Is there anything that I can do to make this better? And if there is, then of course do those things that will help you to feel more in control of the situation. But also just kind of realize that worrying and fretting and stressing and not sleeping definitely are not going to help the situation. They're just going to build it up in your mind even larger than it is. And, so do whatever you can to, look at these issues that you're experiencing, and try to realize their importance in your, everyday life. Try and, make them smaller by tearing them down. And also just give yourself a finite amount of time to think about them, and don't over stress or over worry. And let me feel, I'm seeing, I am seeing a control issue, or your fear of letting go and letting things be. I'm seeing in you a desire to really come from a place of love. I'm seeing you I'm seeing you at the beginning of a transition, or beginning of a journey where you really do want to feel more self-empowered. And there's a difference between control and self-empowerment. So if you can look at that and say, hey, I can't control other people. I can't control the will of the universe. There's, the world is swirling around me, and there's not a lot about that I can control. I mean, there's some things you can do about the crazy world that we live in. You can limit your exposure. You can, things that you can do to help to raise the vibration. You can come from a place of love and understanding. You can donate, money or your time. So there are things that you can do, but you need to learn where to draw that line between what you can do, what you want to do, and what you can't do. And that can often be hard to do. I mean, especially I see that you have a great love for animals. And I watch this one channel on TV. It has some older shows, and I enjoy it sometimes. I just kind of have it on in the background. And it's one of those channels where they have all the free PSAs, and it's constantly the St. Jude and the animals, the SPCA rescuing all the animals. And it just, I just got to the point where I just can't anymore. I do my share. I have 3 beautiful fur babies. I had 4, but one, she was 12 years old. She just passed over to Rainbow Bridge last year. But all, sweet. One is definitely a rescue, from the street. And, I think that is one thing that I feel like I'm helping, is when I'm, taking care of my dogs and, helping in that way in the world. And that's a way also that I can share and experience love. Sometimes I feel like I love my fur babies more than I love people because they are so sweet and innocent and playful. And so that's how I find some peace. That's how I find my sense of belonging. That's one way. And I see that you have that too. I don't know whether it's whether you do have pets or whether you just love animals or you feel drawn to animals, but we do see a lot of animals here in your reading. We see the giraffes and a stork and a wolf and a dove and dolphins and a fox and a gazelle. So we do see quite a few animals here, and so I do feel that gentle, earthy spirit in you, and I think that's very loving, because I think most animals just come from that pure, love source. And so I do see you being a very sensitive, loving person, but maybe one who does not feel in control of their life and who has, been worrying and stressing and is looking for a better way to be. And so you've started this journey, of self-discovery. And, I see you're beginning to learn to lighten up and be in the present and to play and have a more childlike energy. And that is what Spirit is trying to tell you. Number one, don't fear. Don't sabotage yourself. Don't fear self-empowerment. It is, once you've opened up that door and you see that there is another way of life rather than, being stuck in the mire and worried and, stressed, and, once you see there's another way, you've really started that journey, and there's really no way that you can actually turn back. And so Spirit's telling you to take your sensitive, childlike person that you are, a person who really is coming from love, take that and really learn how to play. Learn how to be light with yourself. Learn, whatever that is for you, whether it's, watching funny movies, whether it's actually, being around your children or, grandchildren, and learning to go back to that innocent time and play. And what is play to you? Is it getting in touch with nature? Is it actually having the family over? Let's take it literally. Is it having the family over and playing board games or charades or something? And so you're also being encouraged to go with the flow. We have 2 messages here: go to the sea and enjoy the journey. And so we did mention that you are, the message that I'm getting is that you are on a journey. You have recently begun a journey. And so the message is enjoy the journey, have fun with the journey, play with the journey, learn to let go. Go to the sea is go with the flow, let it go. And then we also have your energy is gaining momentum and effort. So what Spirit is telling you is continue on down this journey, make the effort, and we really do see where the effort that you're making is gaining momentum, and you are becoming more in touch with your lighter, more playful, happy side. You also are being encouraged to become more in touch with your, like the integrity of who you are, to be consistently truthful and honest within yourself. Do not be afraid of self-empowerment. Do not be afraid of figuring out, who am I? What do I want? What can I control? What do I even want to try and control? And so have that integrity within yourself to figure out what it is that you want, and set boundaries. Set boundaries as to what information you'll let in. Like, if the news is upsetting you, stop watching the news. I mean, you can check in every so often to know what's going on in the world around you. But I actually used to watch the news every morning, and then I just stopped. And now I check in online, and I make sure I see all the headlines and I know what's going on. But I actually stopped because it was just very overwhelming. And for any sensitive, empathic person, it can just kind of turn your perspective negative. And so you have to be very careful about who and what you let in. You're also, sorry about that. Bumped that camera, didn't I? You're also being encouraged to clear your space. A lot of times, if you have clutter around you, it can be very overwhelming, and it can make you feel suffocated, and it can make you feel just, out of control. So one way that you can get back in control of your life is to clear the clutter and clear the energy around you. So also, not just, the physical clutter of your house, but maybe you also need to take a salt bath, sage yourself, sage the house, do a mop with some Florida water, and just really clear the energy around you. So that's some of the messages that I've got for you. Let's go ahead and pull some tarot. And maybe some more messages in here may tell a story of something that you're going through, and what you can do to work on things. So we have the Hangman, Judgment, Six of Swords, Ace of Cups, the High Priestess. Let me scooch these all over a little bit. Woo, and the Lovers. Okay. So right away, what I see is, the cards before talked about beginning a journey and maybe being a bit afraid of this self-empowerment trip, like not understanding, what does it mean to empower myself? What does it mean to create boundaries? What does it mean to become responsible for my own life and my own life, my own experience of life, and my own happiness? And so I see that you were paused there for quite a while. But then I also see that you made a judgment, you made a decision, and you decided, I am moving from this place of in your head, this self-involved, which we all are. So, I mean, just to varying degrees. So, no shade. But from this, self-involved, worried, in my head, things are happening to me kind of person, and you decided to move into a more I'm in control of what happens to me. I mean, I can go with the flow, but I've realized that there are some things that I have no control over, and I can let those go. And then there are some things that I do have control over, and I am going to control those things. I am going to manage those things out of self-respect and self-love for myself. And what that brings is a new offer of, an abundant new beginning. And, it could be in any arena of your life, but we do see the Lovers here. So I'm thinking that this new outlook, this new self-awareness, this new desire of yours to become a more self-assured, self-empowered person, it's allowing you to be vulnerable, to open up, and to say, hey, before I had a hard time opening up because I was just scared. I was scared of everything. I was worried. I've been in some not so great relationships, and it never went well. I always feel like people took advantage of me, or didn't really feel the same way that I did. I just never really felt heard, or never really felt loved. But now that you have started this journey of more love for yourself, you're able to really see what love is, and you can tell red flags more easily, and you use your intuition. You can feel it now. You can see it, where before you may have either misinterpreted or not seen, or maybe ignored the red flags. Now you see the red flags and you're like, oh, okay, you know what? That's not meant for me. And so specifically for relationships, I've had people say, hey, my picker's broken, or I can walk into a room with 100 men and 99 of them, healthy, and one, narcissist, and I'll go straight, with the antenna, I'll go straight over to the narcissist and, say, hey, let's get married. And, that's not true. Even healthy, totally, people who were brought up with good role models, or people who had parents who instilled in them a healthy dose of self-esteem and self-respect and self-love, they even get hit on by narcissists. The thing is, they see it. They, and two things they do. One, they do not ignore the red flags. They see the red flags and they do not ignore the red flags. And two, they give any kind of relationship, love relationship, friendships, work, whatever, any kind of relationships, they give things time. Okay? They don't rush. That is the main thing that I have seen for relationships that don't work, or for people who continually end up in unhappy or bad situations. They did not give themselves the time to really get to know the person, find out where they're coming from, what their MO is, what they want. I mean, and you can go from narcissist level -10 to, the most awesomest person, +10, and still not work if you do not take that time to get to know the person. I mean, you could have like a 10, you could have a guy with, or a woman with, money, looks, sense of humor, loves to do this, loves to do that. But if they're out hiking every day and surfing, and and your idea of a good time is watching murder TV, no matter how wonderful they are, it most likely won't work unless both of you, don't care about spending a lot of time together. But it most likely won't work because your interests are so different, and there may not be, much that you have in common, even though you're both just, totally awesome people. So I think the message here is trust yourself, love yourself, and by loving yourself, trite but true, what that means is set boundaries. What do you want? Who are you? What do you want? Set boundaries. And when you get into relationships with people, again, friendships, romantic, even jobs, when you get into something, pay attention to the red flags. Pay attention to their likes and dislikes. Pay attention to who they are and what they want. And, when you go on a job interview, it's not just about them picking you. It's about you picking them as well. You are not always the pickee. You are the picker as well. Whether, and I'm using a job interview as an example, but even in a relationship, why do so many of us lay down and be like, pick me, pick me, pick me? You don't even know who this person is. Why do you want this person to pick you? You don't even know who they are. So the message from Spirit here is know who you are, know what you want, realize that you deserve it, continue on this journey, stop worrying, and start growing. You will have more wonderful opportunities come towards you. Trust your intuition that you're building and that you're growing. And then with the Lovers, I do see the possibility of a relationship. This could also be the love that you have for yourself. You could just fall more and more in love with yourself, or this is the possibility for a new relationship. And since it's the Lovers, I'd say it's probably not a new job, but it could be. But I do see the opportunity for more self-love and for a potential new exciting relationship. So I do see you on a journey, and I think the message for you is continue on that self-growth internal journey, and just figure out a way to love yourself, and love will come to you. Love, abundance. Start to trust your intuition. And then we'll have a couple more messages here from the universe. Okay, so we have create an altar or visit a power place to connect with the divine. So whether you're religious or spiritual, this will differ for you. If you are a traditionally religious person, this may encourage you to spend more time in reflection and draw on that for comfort, power. No matter what religion you are, there's always messages of love and self-empowerment, and you can find those there. Or whether you're more of a spiritual person, you may want to create a little altar where you can burn a candle and burn some sage and kind of cleanse yourself, and maybe do some meditation and get to know yourself better. Then it says, I am more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain. I find that interesting. This also was with the Archangel card of clearing the clutter. So whether you want to take that, physically or spiritually, I would again encourage you. You are getting a message here that whether it's, clearing physical clutter in your surroundings, also sage and, Palo Santo, and kind of just, kind of clean the whole area, maybe do a spiritual mopping of your whole house. And then also a salt bath and, or saging for yourself. And then, as we talked over here, maybe some type of meditative or mind not clearing, because that's not what meditation is, but maybe some type of mind relaxing, or that type of internal cleansing. And then we have start delegating. Ask others to help you instead of trying to do everything by yourself. So maybe on your journey, there are tons of Facebook groups. There's tons of YouTube channels that talk about self-empowerment, self-growth, the law of attraction, the law of assumption. Look that one up. That's a really good one I've been getting into lately. So there are tons of ways that you can reach out for help in your journey. So I think this is beautiful. The messages from Spirit, the messages you were meant to hear, go with the flow, stop worrying so much, learn to love yourself, grow a healthy self-esteem, self-worth, self-love. It will help you with your other relationships in life. Clean your environment, and just continue, make effort and continue on along the journey that you're on. And so I think that's beautiful. Good for you. Happy journey. Please continue on. If any of this resonated, please do like this video. I would greatly appreciate it. And I would love your comments as to what resonated. And again, if you have any ideas for any pick a card videos that you'd like to see, I do read all my comments, and I would be interested in knowing. So thank you so much for joining me today. That's all I have for you, group number 1. Thanks again, and see you next time. Hi, group number 2. Welcome. This is Cindy with Tana Tarot, and this is group number 2. And the messages that we're getting today are, messages that you need to hear right now. Or messages meant to find you. So this is just asking Spirit to send us any information that you need to help you, along your way, any guidance, any insight, anything that can help you at this time. And so, but what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to do a few maybe traits or attributes of who this person is that the messages are for, and you may see yourself in these. So hopefully that will help you to determine which of these groups is for you. So first, the thing we're going to look at is the archetype and the animal card. So, the two things that I see in common between these two cards are both of them are about, magic, spiritualness, creativity, growth, and transformation. So I will say that this person is very creative and very spiritual. This person is able to meditate, and so here we have breathe, and here we have meditate. So I just see this to be a very talented, spiritual, intuitive person. We also have over here visionary, capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others, willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. So if this is you, you may be, I'd say a very creative person. Again, let's go to the standard. You may be in the, you may be an artist, you may be a writer, that type of thing. You could also be a healer, and that could go from, a mystic healer to, to a nurse, or, to a midwife. But this person is very spiritual, very creative, and so much so that they have to make special effort to stay in balance and kind of figure out a way to live their life in this, 3D world. Because I see this person as being very, like in group number 1, that person was at the very beginning of their spiritual journey. I see this person, or if you are resonating, I see you as a person who is very enlightened, very into magic. I mean, you may be a witch or a warlock. You may be a tarot reader. But you're just super spiritual and magical person. I feel like people want to be around you because you're just, so in touch with the universe. And isn't that funny here? Wondrous universe, walk in beauty. You are the kind of person who just feels at one with the universe, and just kind of, full of love. And I'm sorry, I am saying it and then I'm looking and seeing the card. It's freaking me out. Full of love and just very open, like a teacher, like a guide. So if this is you, I'd be fascinated in knowing. These cards are like, I'm just picturing like the magician or a wizard. If this is you, please make a comment in the comment section and let me know, what is it that you do for a living? Or, you could be like an accountant, but, just super duper spiritual, all the time, but maybe you have something, like a side business or something going on. But anyway, please do let me know. I'm fascinated. I'd be very interested in knowing. So anyway, some messages for you now that we have identified you is, number 1, I see you as very strong and very, like I said, definitely not on the beginning of this journey. I see you as someone that has been working for quite a while, very enlightened. But I also do see that you question your talent. I do see that you question your abilities. And the message for you from Spirit is, that's fine. That's actually good because it keeps you humble and it keeps you down to earth. But I do think that this whole reading here is letting you know that you are being recognized as a visionary and, very transformative spiritual person. And so one that is at one with the universe and able to walk in beauty and able to, help others along the way. So you are being recognized and being encouraged to, stay humble, but recognize your own talents and continue along this journey because you do have the talent. Now, I would need to go back to the threshold card. It's almost like an event, I want to say. The threshold card is, to me, kind of like the Tower and Death all wrapped up in one, but in a good way, if that's possible. And if you know anything about tarot, the Tower is an event that is fated, and it's something that is going to happen. And what the Tower is an event that breaks down an unstable foundation and ends something that needs to be ended, but that maybe you or the person that is engaged in whatever situation this is has not been able to end, or perhaps this person has contributed to the ending, but the ending is going to happen. It needs to happen so that the old way can die away and a new, fresh, clean, good way can begin. So I don't know if the message to you is that an event is going to occur, or if you're being encouraged to end something in your life that needs to end. But in my mind, this is going to happen. either way. And so an ending is going to occur, and this ending is going to be transformational. Now, I just see you as someone who is highly, what is the word I'm looking for? Evolved, self-empowered, spiritual, but I do see the need to let go of the old. I'm going to sum up both of those cards in one. To let go of the old and to begin something anew. Now, only you will know what that is. Is it a relationship? Is it a job? Is it a way of thinking? I don't know. I'd be super interested if you wanted to let me know in the comments, but something needs to end so that a beautiful new start can happen for you. And so Spirit is letting you know that, encouraging you to either end this thing or letting you know that it needs to end or that it will be ended. And I don't have a time frame. I mean, we have too many numbers and things for me to tell, but it's funny. The thing that's right under it is career transition. Archangel Shamuel. Your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. Maybe that's it. Maybe you have become so, woke and so spiritually evolved that there's just no way you can go into that job one more day. And maybe you need to start your own spiritual business, whether that be counseling, whether it be tarot reading, whether it be, who knows? That would really just depend on what your spiritual gifts are. But you are talented. You are a visionary. You're like a light worker. And so you're being encouraged to for some type of career transition. And if that's you, if this is you, then you'll know. Another message for you is that to breathe, to take a moment. Perhaps you're so caught up in this event or what's going on. I mean, just because you're spiritual and evolved doesn't mean you don't have day-to-day shit that goes on in your life or challenges. And I'm sure you do. We all do. So some guidance from Spirit here is to meditate, find a way to calm yourself, to center yourself, and to breathe. Find a way to calmly deal with this. I also see two cards about safety and protection. So another message from Spirit is that you are okay. You are safe. You and your loved ones are safe. You do not need to worry. Everything is going to be okay. So I don't know what type of, if it's a physical threat, an emotional threat. I don't know what type of threat you're feeling, but a message from Spirit is that you are protected. You're protected by your spirit guides. You're protected by your angels. And you are safe. So just know that. And do not be afraid, no matter what is going on. Do not be afraid to live in your authenticity. You are a special, sensitive, spiritual, creative person. You come from love. You walk in beauty. Do not be afraid to be your authentic self. You are safe. And that's another message. Be yourself. Continue on this journey. And you are safe. Whew. All right, let's pull some tarot. This is crazy. Crazy cool. Those cards out of the way. Let's see what we have for you. the Three of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, the Eight of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles. Oh, I see the progression there, the Hierophant. Okay. Alrighty. So I see that you have been through something very stressful and heartbreaking. Perhaps you feel as if you've been betrayed. I don't know. It's the Three of Swords, but they're piercing this heart. So you feel like you've been, stabbed in the heart. You feel betrayed. And so only you can know. I don't know if this is in a relationship. I don't know if this is a friendship. I don't know if this is a job thing where you feel like, you've been stabbed in the back, actually. But you have been betrayed, and you are, there is something that has happened that has made you feel very hurt and very sad. Okay? You have worked very, very hard to get where you are, and for this to happen, or for someone to treat you like this, or for things to go this way, is very disheartening for you, especially with all the work that you've done. You've transitioned into such a loving, open, self-sufficient person. I do see you possibly in a court situation, a court battle. Again, whether that's maybe a divorce from a relationship, or maybe someone's stolen from you, and you're taking them to court. Could be a business situation. Maybe you feel you were fired improperly from a job, and you're taking the company to court. But whatever it is, you know what? I don't care how spiritual you are, how much of a wizard you are, how, magical your life is. 3D shit gets in the way, and if someone has treated you badly, whether it's a divorce or small claims trying to get your money back, or taking an employer to court because you need to stand up for yourself and go ahead and go do this 3D shit because you need to protect yourself. And just remember, from what we just saw before, you are safe, you are protected. So I think that message means that you are in the right, and you should go for it. I mean, there's sometimes you can just write it off and go, whatever, but this seems to be one time where maybe you need to stand your ground. So I also see that you are a hard worker, and you've gotten to a place of self-sufficiency. You have gotten to a place where you are fine on your own. You are you're self-sufficient. You can count on yourself. You've got all your pentacles here. You're in an abundant place, and this is something that you have done by yourself. And so you can stand firm in your knowledge that this is something that you grew, that you worked hard for, that you grew yourself, and you can not rebel, that's not the word I'm looking for, but you can not relax. Sorry, I can't think of the word, but you can kind of just sit back and look and feel proud of what you worked hard for, and what you built, and where you're at now. And you should give yourself, reach back and give yourself a pat on the back, because it's obvious from this progression that you have really done the work. And then finally, we have the Wheel of Fortune, and I see positive forward movement for you. And a successful outcome. So for your life in general, and so what Spirit is saying is for your life in general, you've worked hard. We saw great spiritual growth before. Now we're seeing financial abundance, and maybe not just only financial, because this is about solid and long lasting. So it could even be, even though it's pentacles and it's not cups, but you've got yourself in a pretty decent situation here, in your life. Let's just say overarching. And so the Wheel of Fortune tells us that this is going to continue and move forward, and that you're going to do well. So we also have, you are just getting started, so have patience with yourself and the process, and do not give up. So whatever it is, whether, spiritually, I see you as definitely not just getting started. Spiritually, I see you as very advanced. But maybe with this endeavor, whatever this endeavor is, you're just getting started. And then I allow myself to see beyond my beliefs and ideas. And infinite supply. You are supplied for today and all of your tomorrows. Again, that goes back to the you are protected and you are safe. And then also 9 of Pentacles and infinite supply. There's a clarification for you right there. So continue on your journey. Stand up for yourself. Do whatever you need to do. You are protected. You are safe. And continue to walk in love. Please do comment and give me a thumbs up if you like this reading. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you, Group 2. Bye-bye. Hi, Group number 3. This is Cindy with Tana Tarot. And this is Group number 3 in the reading. This message was meant for you. You were meant to find this message. And so what this is messages from Spirit letting you know, like today, or very soon now, in this very near future, what messages are you meant to hear? They can be messages of guidance, support, maybe giving you some insight into what's going on, so arm you to make good decisions. What I want to do at first though, is give a little bit of insight into who this message is meant for, maybe some attributes or personal traits of this person, so that you can determine if this message is for you, if this is your message. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and start with the B, because this card, I think, will help us to understand who this message is meant for. So the person that this group, that Group 3 messages are for, is a very hardworking, earnest, happy, sensitive person. So this person is just a joy to work around, to be around. They are, this person might be described as sunny, like when they walk into a room and their smile, you're just like, there's so-and-so, there's Walter, or there's Sarah, just people love to be around you because you're just so real. You experience the joy in life. You appreciate the small things. You're the kind of person when you walk by someone in the hall at work, you smile and say, hey, good morning. And people may kind of be taken aback for a couple of seconds, and they're like, good morning, and they're like, oh, wow, thank you. You kind of perked up my day there. You're just that kind of a person, kind of happy, just someone who appreciates life and everything that they have in it. One thing, this may be another way that you can recognize yourself. One thing is that you have a tendency to overwork. Whether that's at work and you find yourself, you look up and it's 6 or 7 and you've been there, PM, and you've been there since 7 or 8 a.m. and you're like, oh, okay. Maybe you need to monitor that a bit. That's a message from Spirit. Or it could just be in your everyday life. Maybe you go to work and then you come home and you fix this and you fix that and you clean this and you clean that. Maybe you're kind of always on the go. And so what Spirit is letting you know is, that's great. Be industrious. Go ahead and be a busy bee. But just remember to stop and smell the roses. Don't burn yourself out, and take time to rest and rejuvenate. So hopefully that'll help you identify if this reading is for you, and there may be more attributes as we go forward. But let's get into some of the messages. So, it's funny that I did mention walking down the hall at work, because we do have a message here in the box. The box symbolizes structure. It can be limiting beliefs. It can be, it can be something that it's who you are, but it can be something that was given to you as a child, like maybe expectations from your parents. Maybe that's why you work so hard. Maybe, your mom or your dad was like, idle hands are the devil's tools, or, hey, what are you doing laying around watching TV? You need to, go clean your room or go out and do the backyard, And that's, I'm not saying your parents ruined your life by making you do the yard. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that, you could overwork today or stay busy, not necessarily because you want to, but kind of due to kind of the messages that you got from your parents. You could have definitely been deeply affected by your environment. And this card may be meant to be read a different way, but this is the way that it's striking me right now. I do also feel like you may be in a job that you are not really fulfilled or happy. I'm kind of just seeing you as the worker bee, toiling. It's obvious that you're the kind of person that does come from a place of, happiness and joy. But I feel like you may be affected by other people's expectations, or maybe your expectations of yourself. Maybe when you were growing up, you said, okay, by the time I'm 21, I want to have this. I want to have the degree. I want to have, and again, nothing wrong with any of this, but it may not be what you really want. I need to have, I need to be an engineer. I need to be a doctor. I need to go into IT. I need to do this. I need to do that. And you spent a lot of time and a lot of energy into becoming this thing. And looking at it now, it may not be what you want. And so you need to really look at that. And messages that I'm getting are heal the pain. I feel like this is from your childhood, and maybe expectations from your parents, or maybe expectations that you put on yourself, but usually as a child, it's usually external. I think you are feeling pain. I think you're not happy, and you don't know what to do, because this was your life purpose. And you showed a lot of determination and grit and put a lot of hard work into becoming who you are. And now to look back, and I have this feeling you're not that old. I mean, I'm really feeling like in the 20s. like you did this, you worked hard, you did all the education thing, and you're in the beginning of your work. But I'm feeling, pardon me, but the feeling that I'm getting is that you're not that old, but you're already having feelings of discontent and unhappiness. And you're looking at your life purpose and you're like, I believed that my life purpose was this, but I'm feeling like it's not. And I don't know if you even know what you want your new life purpose to be, but I have a feeling that it's not what it is right now. And that can really be scary. So, here's some messages from Spirit. You don't have to know. Some people don't know their life purpose until they're 40, 50, even 60. You see grandmas getting medical degrees, you seem to be the type of person who wants to have a purpose and wants to know where they're going. So I'm not saying you don't need a life purpose or it's okay not to figure it out what it is, but what Spirit is telling you is it's okay if you've realized that what you thought was your life purpose isn't. And go ahead and now's the time. Figure out what your new life purpose is. It could be something amazingly divergent. Like I've had, a good friend who was an accountant forever, but what he really loved was playing the saxophone and always wanted to be a musician, and not even necessarily, like Kenny G or whatever. I mean, he would have been happy being like in a studio, he just loves playing the saxophone. And so, but he became an accountant, but it was so stressful that he was unable to continue due to health issues. Like in a month and a year stuff, just super duper stressful. And really feels kind of sad, maybe a little bitter that he didn't pursue the whole music thing. So that's something to think about. Do you want to look back in your 50s or 60s and say, well, it was safe? Or do you want to go for it? And you don't have to quit whatever you're doing now. You can realize that you have a new life purpose and you can start the work. And you can start now and figure out what that is. Now, some other messages that I have for you, and I'm sorry, let me go back to here, show the world the real you. Again, answering the call, finding out who the real you is, and determining your new life purpose, and having determination. Work on it. Do it. The time is now. So there's a couple of messages for you. Another message that I have, I'm just seeing you as this, and I'm not trying to blame your parents. This isn't bag on, your parents' day, but I'm just seeing you as really sheltered. And I'm seeing you coming from a household where, sex wasn't talked about. So I'm seeing you as slightly uncomfortable in that arena. Not like I have 3 cards talking about it. We have Virgin, light attribute, maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit, perhaps fear of an intimate union. I see passion, trust and follow your renewed passion in your love life and career. And we're going to go back to that a little bit, but I'm looking at it as maybe love life now. And then we also have the second chakra. The energy of the sacral chakra helps us to navigate our lives through our emotions and supports our ability to enjoy the sensual world. So a message from Spirit is, it's okay. It's okay to be a sensual and sexual person. It's not anything to be embarrassed or ashamed of. And so whatever you need to do, not that it's something negative that needs to be healed, but I think it's an area that maybe you're suffering arrested development from due to your environment growing up. So I have a very strong message from Spirit. Explore that side of yourself. It's okay. Be safe. Again, attack it from a spiritual healing. Become comfortable with it. And whether you need outside, help or guidance, maybe a therapist, maybe a trusted family member, maybe like an older sibling, if you're comfortable with that. But become comfortable with that aspect of yourself. And that's a huge message from Spirit. It's okay, you're okay, but work on that for you to really be happy and enjoy life to its fullest. And then finally, for these messages, we have milk and honey. Do not be afraid. Whatever you have done, you are abundant. And whatever you will do, you will be abundant. So, whether the profession that you chose is super high paying and something you're interested in, maybe isn't, trust that you will figure out a way to make sure that you are prosperous. Do not worry about that. You're not going to, leave your, 6-figure job and go move into an apartment, with rats and roaches and starve. Whatever new life you have in mind for yourself, it's not going down like that. You're going to live a life of abundance. And that is, you can take that to the bank. That's definitely a message from Spirit. You just wouldn't let that happen. Okay, let's go ahead and pull some tarot. Alrighty, let's see what messages we have today. So we have the Magician, 5 of Wands, 3 of Wands, 9 of Cups, the Hermit, and the 10 of Cups. Wonderful. I say progression from the 9 of Cups to the 10 of Cups. That's good. Okay, let me give you a couple of messages here. First of all, Spirit sees that you have been feeling this conflict. Like, what should I do? I know I'm not happy in this. And I've been seeing it as work, but I guess it could be a relationship as well. But I'm just really feeling and getting the message that it's work and life purpose related. Okay. But take it as it resonates. But you have been feeling conflicted, and you've gone inside and you've done the work. You've looked and you realized this is not what I want. And so you have made a decision that you're going to go a different way. And that's good. And I'll tell you what, with the Magician here, what this message is to you is that you can manifest anything you want. And your ships will come in. So I do see an internal review. And the message from Spirit is you are a manifester. We know that you felt this conflict. And we want to tell you that your ships will come in no matter what path you decide to take. Also, message from Spirit is, just as we saw the milk and honey card, message from Spirit is you will reap the benefits. Here we have the 9 of Cups. We see a single person with cups full. Even though cups traditionally is about love, this card depicts more to me almost like the 9 of Pentacles, self sufficiency, self-satisfaction. You will do well. You will be proud of yourself. You know, reach over and pat yourself on the back. But then what we also see is the Ten of Cups, which is traditionally family, home, relationship. So the message is, look forward to a very prosperous and happy future. And do not worry, because this is promised to you. Let's also get a couple of other messages here. Beautiful. Okay, so we have, it is the perfect time for you to start new projects, access new ideas, and give birth to new conditions. Hello. That's definitely an affirmation. It's like, it's okay to start anew. It's okay to have new ideas and give birth to new conditions. That is very telling. Reinvent yourself. Only my beliefs are in my way. Yes, you believed that you had to do this line of work. It was what your family expected, is what you expected of yourself. Let go of those beliefs. And then you have divine knowledge that can help others through your spiritual teaching. You have grown so much. You've done the introspection and the inner work. And you can manifest anything. And you can help others. So this is what I have for you, group number 3. I think it's beautiful. You go ahead and make that change, and you're promised a wonderful, productive life. That's all I have for you, group number 3. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.